Chris Tabor is the interim coach. I guess he's still the special teams coordinator, and he has a plan for Bryce Young.
I think he has to be himself. I think that my message to everybody is let's go out and play and have some fun. Play loose, not reckless, but play loose. Hey, here's my chips. I'm all in. So let's go. And I think that can be comforting to players, and he's going to play well. I just know he will.
I hope he does. I still have incredible faith that Bryce Young is going to be good. I do. I always fall back on my conversations, as many as we have had over like a 12-year period with former ECU coach Steve Logan. We way too often, and honestly it happens a lot with the national media. If you watch too much ESPN, we fall in love simply with statistics, right? We look at the box score or we watch the highlights and we see all of these things happening and like, oh my gosh, CJ Stroud is the greatest thing people put him in the MVP category, in the MVP discussion.
Yeah, it's like, slow down here.
Mike, wait a second. Are you telling me that the starting quarterback for a team that might make the playoffs is an MVP candidate over Christian McCaffrey, Brock Purdy, Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown, all of these players on great teams that help make them great? Are you telling me that because statistically speaking, C.J. Stroud is having a great year, I'm not even denying that he's the MVP candidate? Get over it. Just because they start talking about it on ESPN, because, not to be disparaging here, as he is about to, but that's like lowest common denominator conversations.
Yeah.
Every week they do, who's ahead in the Heisman race? It ain't a race. I vote. I pay zero attention to the conversations that they are having. No attention at all. I just watch. I just watch games, and I watch players. I don't care about your Heisman race. I don't care about these. They do it. The MVP has Jalen Hurts passed Patrick Mahomes in the MVP race? I'm like, we have a third of the season left. It's not a race. When the season is over, we'll figure it out. It's not a race. So, but that's the problem, is that we dumb ourselves down.
Oh yeah,
because they dumb it down because they know you'll watch. Embrace debate. Anyway, all of these conversations about Bryce Young versus CJ Stroud, they are tiring. And it all stems from the fact that Carolina traded from 9-1 and took Bryce Young. Mel Kiper, on what we need to stop doing.
You can't all of a sudden audibilize away. You took who you took. I think any discussion about Young and Stroud, to me, is unfair to Bryce. I wouldn't even go there. You made your pick. You don't have to address why we did it, what we were thinking. Just shut up and that this is your guy. Show some respect for your quarterback. Do not bring up in any discussion C.J. Stroud. He's in Houston. He's got a lot of good things happening there. He's done a great job. That's C.J. Stroud.
It doesn't matter how good C.J. Stroud is. The only thing that matters is how good Bryce Young is. That's it. And I use the example of the 1983 NFL draft. That draft had 6 quarterbacks taken in the first round. The last quarterback taken in the first round is the best one, Dan Marino.
Yeah.
Dan Marino was the last quarterback taken in the first round in the 83 draft. There was a 30 for 30 on the 83 draft. Jim Kelly was taken in that draft by the Buffalo Bills, middle of the first round. John Elway was the first pick.
Elway.
Right? Elway was the first pick.
Colts.
Colts took him, but he was never going to play there, and they traded him for Roy Hinton, who was a tackle. Hinton was drafted 4th by Denver, so they made that swap. Marino is a better quarterback than John Elway. Nobody's saying that Denver lost the draft. Of course, we didn't have stupid TV back then, so we didn't have to have these conversations. But nobody's saying that, well, Denver clearly lost the draft. Buffalo clearly lost the draft because they drafted Jim Kelly. Nah. They all won the draft. They got a franchise quarterback. It doesn't matter as long as Bryce Young becomes the quarterback you wanted to draft. If he's your guy, it doesn't matter what CJ Stroud does. It doesn't. We have to be better about that.